Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're doing something a little different and I think really practical. We're diving into your collection of resources, articles, notes, all this stuff you've gathered focused on learning English.
That's right. And it's quite a mix. We've got material here covering, well, everything from those really essential phrases you need for travel or just daily life.
The survival stuff.
Exactly. All the way through to some trickier grammar points, common mistakes, things even native speakers mess up, sometimes pronunciation tips, and even some, interesting bits about American culture and how language gets used in real life.
So think of this as us kind of sitting down with your personal English learning toolkit. We're going to unpack it together, try and pull out the most useful bits, see how things connect, and hopefully give you some clarity, maybe make the whole learning journey feel a bit less daunting.
Yeah, our goal is really to help you navigate all this information you pull together, see the patterns, maybe what to focus on so you feel, well, better equipped.
Right. Let's get started then. What jumps out first?
Okay, well, let's kick off with what feels like the most immediately useful area. Those essential phrases, especially for travel or just, everyday situations. Your notes really highlighted how crucial these are.
Oh, totally. They unlock actually doing things. Like walking into a restaurant, what do you need?
Well, maybe asking for a recommendation. Right. If the menu's overwhelming, what do you recommend? Or maybe, could you suggest something? That's gold.
Or just shopping, you need to know the price. Pointing works, but asking how much is this feels, well, more complete.
And trying on clothes you absolutely need. Can I try this on? No way around that one.
Yeah. And basic logistics, like confirming a booking. I have a reservation under. You need that.
Right. Or the simplest request, but so important. Water, please. Or maybe, could I get some water? And checking if they take credit cards, pretty vital these days, wouldn't you say?
Massively important. And what if something goes wrong, like the order's messed up?
Yeah. Handling mistakes politely, this isn't what I ordered, is direct, maybe a bit blunt. Softening it helps. Excuse me, I think there might be a mistake. Or, could you please check? This isn't quite what I ordered. Makes a big difference.
Definitely. And then the simple stuff, asking for the menu, please, at the start and the check or bill, please, at the end. They smooth things out.
They really do. Transactional language, but essential.
And we absolutely cannot forget the universal question.
Oh, where is the bathroom? Yes. Probably should be the very first phrase learned in any language.
I think so. But, the resources went beyond just getting things done. They touched on building connections, too. Compliments, for example.
A lovely way to connect. Simple things like, I love your cooking. Who wouldn't want to hear that?
Right. Or the more general, you are an awesome friend. That feels really genuine.
It does. And there was that list of phrases you always want to hear, like, you win. Just pure positive energy.
Yeah. Or, I brought you something special. Show someone was thinking of you.
I miss you. Very direct connection. And take a break. I'll do the cleaning today. That's just universally amazing.
Yes. A true gift. And back to the cooking, you're an excellent cook. Reinforces that appreciation. These aren't just words, are they? They build real bonds.
Exactly. Language is so much about that human connection. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Vocabulary, another big piece, and often needs to be context-specific.
Yes, like that beach vocabulary list. It wasn't just swim, it was all the associated stuff.
Right, things like sunglasses, obviously, a swimsuit, and maybe all the different words like bikini, trunks, the lifeguard keeping watch, building a sandcastle.
Fun. And the practical things, like a cooler for drinks, knowing about the tide.
Hoping for a tan, avoiding sunburn, maybe doing some snorkeling, and things you wear like flip-flops, named for the sound they make, right?
Yeah. And of course, vital sunscreen.
Having those words makes the whole experience, well, easier to talk about.
Definitely. Another area was family. Basic terms like uncle, aunt, cousin.
Right, and getting nephew and niece straight, brother's son, sister's daughter, and so on, wife, husband, parent. Pretty standard.
But then it got interesting with the in-laws.
Ah, yes, the in-law suffix. It's a neat trick linguistically.
It is. Tells you immediately they're related through marriage.
Exactly. Brother-in-law, mother-in-law, father-in-law. Very common. Oh, and while we're on family words, that irregular plural, one child, but two.
Two children, not childs. That's a classic learner mistake.
It really is. Okay, shall we dive into maybe the trickier zone for many learners? Grammar.
Yeah, let's do it. Mastering grammar really adds proficiency. Your sources picked out some key confusion points.
They did. And one that comes up a lot is the difference between by and until for time.
Right, this isn't just picking a word, it changes the whole meaning, doesn't it?
Completely. The sources explained it well. By is usually about a deadline, a single point in time. At or before this time, something needs to be done.
Like, finish the report by Friday.
Exactly. Friday is the latest. You could finish Wednesday, Thursday, but no later than Friday. It's the finish line.
Okay, so until is different.
Yeah, until is about something continuing up to a certain point and then stopping. Like, I stayed at the beach until 10 a.m.
Meaning you were there the whole time, right up to 10.
Precisely. You're at the beach continuously, and then at 10, that state ended. Or think about, I won't travel abroad until I learn English. The not traveling state continues right up to the point you've learned English. Using by there would be weird.
Makes no sense.
Got it.
That's a really clear distinction. What else? The future tense. Will versus going to.
Oh yeah, another classic. They seem similar, but the key difference your sources highlighted is when the decision was made.
Okay, so walk us through it. When do we use going to?
You use going to for plans or intentions decided before the moment you start speaking. There's usually some pre-planning, more certainty.
Like the example, I'm going to go to France next year. You've probably thought about it, maybe booked something.
Exactly. Or, I'm not going out tonight, I'm too tired. You felt tired before someone asked you out. The decision was already made.
Okay. Premeditated plan. So will must be for spontaneous decisions.
Spot on. Will is for decisions made right at the moment of speaking. Often less certain, more immediate, like looking at a menu and saying, I think I'll have the fish.
You just decided.
Just decided. Or someone suggests hiking, and you say, oh, maybe I'll join you. Decision happening right then.
That timing difference is key. And the contractions, of course.
Yeah.
Going to becoming gonna in speech.
Very common.
And I will becoming I'll. Hearing those is crucial for understanding. And that point about probably with will, I probably won't go, still fix, because the decision not to go is being made now.
Yeah, it's subtle, isn't it? Language is full of these. Okay, next up, the simple past tense.
Right, this is for things that started and finished at a specific past time. Like, I forgot my keys yesterday. Done, finished, specific time yesterday.
Precisely. And the sources reminded us about regular verbs adding ed, like walked, started, enjoyed. But that ed sound changes, right? Sometimes C, sometimes ed, sometimes d.
Yeah, based on the sound before it. Tricky. And then the irregular verbs.
Ah, the fun ones. They just change completely. Bring, brought, go, went, eat, ate, say, said. No rule, just memorization and practice.
Pretty much. And the simple past can also be for repeated past actions, if you say when. They went swimming every day last summer.
Right, the every day last summer locks it in the past. Without that, you might use a different tense. Which brings us nicely to the present perfect, often confused with the simple past.
Ah, yes. I have been to London. Feels different from I went to London.
It is different. The present perfect that's have or has plus the past participle is more about life experiences or past actions with a connection to now. The key thing is the specific time it happened usually isn't the focus or isn't mentioned.
So, I have been to London means sometime in my life that happened. The experience is the point.
Exactly. But if you say, I went to London last year, now you're using the simple past because you've specified when last year.
Okay, so simple past, specific time mentioned or implied. Present perfect, experience, time less important, connection to now.
That's the core of it, and that's why you ask, have you ever been to London? Present perfect, asking about the experience.
And if they say yes,
You follow up with, oh really? When did you go? Simple past, asking for this specific time. They work together.
that makes perfect sense now.
Yep.
Okay, one more grammar point. Simple present versus present progressive.
Right. I work versus I am working. Another common slip up, simple present is for facts, habits, regular schedules. I work in New York means that's your regular job location.
It's a general truth about your life.
Yeah. Whereas the progressive, I am working in New York.
That sounds temporary.
Exactly. It implies it's happening right now or for a limited period, maybe different from your usual routine. I'm working in New York this week. Using I am working for your permanent job sounds a bit unnatural, like it's just temporary.
Got it. So I work for the regular thing, I'm working for the temporary or current activity. Crucial for sounding natural.
It really is. Getting these nuances adds so much. Okay, moving beyond strict rules. Language is also about usage, culture, even bad habits.
Yeah, the sources dug into some of those. Things maybe not in textbooks, like common mistakes even natives make them.
Oh, definitely. The sound-alikes are top of the list. Your versus your, possessive versus you are.
And the big one, there, and there, possessive place, they are, gets mixed up all the time in writing.
All the time. And that written error that comes from speech, writing could of instead of could have. Because when we say could have, right, it sounds like of.
But it's always have.
Good point.
Pronunciation pitfalls, too.
Yep, like ask versus axe. Axe is common in some dialects, but generally seen as non-standard. And the sound, ooh, that's a challenge.
Sounds.
Exactly. The voiced one vibrating like in the this, that, and the unvoiced one just air like in think, three, thanks. Learners need to master both.
And what was that about overpronunciation?
Ah, yes. Trying too hard to say every single letter in words like chocolate or comfortable. Native speakers often drop or blend sounds chocolate comfortable.
So being too precise can actually sound less natural.
Kind of, yeah. It's about finding that natural rhythm. And speaking of natural, the sources had some fun insights into American culture, especially things kids learn.
Like the magic word, which is...
Please. Drilled in from day one, and those classic childhood games, hide and seek, obviously.
Or more. With a little rhyme. 1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a thumb war.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
And Duck Duck Goose, that circle game. And Eeny, Meeny, Meeny, Mo for choosing someone.
Shared cultural knowledge. And then the teenage game, Truth or Dare.
A rite of passage for many. Then there was stuff about the U.S. college experience.
Right. Typically 4 years for a bachelor's. And the famous freshman 15.
That supposed 15 pounds gained in the first year. Cafeteria food, stress, maybe parties.
Yeah, the party culture. Themed parties. And the ubiquitous red Solo cup.
Iconic. Apparently they even have measurement lines, which I never knew.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a symbol of casual American gatherings.
It really is. And college being a time to explore, join clubs, maybe sororities or fraternities, that whole system.
It's a distinct phase. Another cultural point that often puzzles visitors. Americans wearing shoes inside.
Ah, yes. The sources mention it's often less strict than elsewhere. Some families have rules, but for parties or guests, it might be okay. Just maybe. Keep your feet off the sofa.
Good advice. It just shows how norms vary. And for visitors, some practical interactions are key, like hotels and passport control.
Absolutely. Hotel check-in, I have a reservation. Being ready to spell your name, asking about things, is there a shop, any shampoo?
And at passport control, handing over the passport with a simple, here you are, and knowing the standard questions.
How long will you be staying? Need a specific answer, 6 weeks, 2 months.
Where will you be staying? Have the hotel name or address ready.
And what's the purpose of your visit? Simple answers, business, pleasure, tourism, visiting family.
Having those ready makes a potentially stressful moment much smoother.
Definitely. Oh, and a final quick note on pronunciation. British versus American English.
Right. The main point highlighted was that American English tends to pronounce sounds, especially the or sound at the end of words, more clearly or strongly than many British accents do.
Like car or water, you really hear the R.
Exactly. It's a noticeable difference.
Phew. That was quite a journey through all the practical bits and pieces. And to wrap things up, the resources also offered some useful strategies for the learning process itself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because knowing the stuff is one thing, actually learning and remembering it and staying motivated, that's the real challenge.
So what were some ideas for motivation?
Well, things like really visualizing your goal. Imagine living in an English-speaking country, getting interested in the culture behind the language, finding funny words, making it enjoyable.
Journaling in English came up too. Even simple daily entries force you to use the language.
Flashcards for drilling vocabulary. And I liked the point about thanking people who correct your English. It makes them more likely to help again, creates a positive cycle.
That's smart. And for actually remembering words.
Some clever tricks there, like associating a new English word with a similar sounding word in your own language, a memory hook.
Okay.
Learning word roots helps too, like knowing omni means all and scient means knowing helps you guess omniscient. You unlock related words.
Using songs, watching kids' TV shows.
Yeah, songs get stuck in your head, great for grammar patterns. Kids shows you simpler language, lots of repetition, designed for learning.
You're speaking with native speakers, obviously, as much as possible.
Crucial. And just weaving English into daily life. Change your phone language. Talk to yourself in English while cooking or driving. Sounds silly, but it helps.
And simple repetition. Reading, writing, listening, speaking. just consistently using it.
It all adds up. Active engagement is key.
Wow. Okay, so we've really unpacked a lot from your English learning toolkit today. From those absolutely essential phrases for getting by,
Ordering food, asking directions.
to specific vocabulary for things like the beach or a family, then diving into some of those grammar points that can really make a difference. By versus until, will versus going to,
Getting that precision.
and then exploring how language ties into culture. Common mistakes, pronunciation quirks, American childhood games, college life, even wearing shoes indoors.
It really shows language isn't just rules in a book. It's alive. It's connected to how people live and interact. The sources you gathered paint that picture really well. The practical, the structure, the culture.
It's definitely a big, fascinating puzzle. Sometimes confusing, sure, even for native speakers. But looking at all these different pieces, like we did today, helps build that bigger picture.
Absolutely. So thinking about everything we've touched on from your resources, what area specifically feels most interesting or relevant to you right now? Where does your curiosity want to go next on your learning journey?
Yeah, because keeping that curiosity going, asking those questions, and just actively playing with the language, that's probably the most powerful tool you have.